Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Starting soon, guys. Stay tuned. Wow, what a fancy playmat. Let's go. All right, shuffling underway. Not exactly sure what the left person is playing. I think right is playing Sneaker Bunko, of course. It might be his quote-unquote coin flip deck. Seems to have worked out for him so far these last couple of weeks. Yeah, looks like I was correct. Sneaker Bunko to the right wins the rock, paper, scissors, so he gets to start. To the left, we have Goblin Slayer. Interesting. Yeah, Audrey, for sure. Thanks for showing up again, dude. Clock draw 2, of course. How can you say no to Poddick Read every turn? Goblin Slayer looks like he started out pretty well as pretty good. He has the Goblin Slayer Ricky in hand and the Interceptor as well, so he's probably primed to do. Oh, okay, so a little bit unfortunate there. 2 of the level 1 Goblin Slayers into the clock already. Only means of getting them out now would be like a cowgirl of some sort to salvage it on Digital Climax, among other things. But plays the Interceptor. He unfortunately does not have any other cards on this turn though to attack with to generate stock. A little bit unfortunate. Keeps his hand size though, so Goblin Slayer can chase. Ideally, he would have the Elf Runner as well though, or another Interceptor, one of the two. Sneaker Bunko, of course, doesn't really care exactly what Goblin Slayer has on his side. The biggest hitch for the coin flip deck, of course, will be if Goblin Slayer manages to put down the Priestess early play Soul Suppression Climax combo. That kind of throws a hitch in all his plans, because all he wants to do is throw soul damage in the first 1 or 2 levels, and then hope to end the game with his event as well as the yellow Climax combo. I think on cancel burn 1, something like that. Unfortunately, he Ricky's, of course, into the Climax, so he's out 1. I think he also had 1 in his hand, so to my knowledge, he's out 2. Goblin Slayer is still okay. I don't think he ditched any Climaxes. I think he kept his hand, actually. There's nothing, appears to be nothing in his waiting room. Torches in hand, so Goblin Slayer at the level 1 will be ready for the torches. Brainstorms, hits 1, salvages. Yeah, so through those torches, he wants to find the other 2 level 1 zeros. Minus, I think it was 1k on play for the zeros. These are the coin flips, so I think, on reverse check top, he triggers the standby, so gets to play a level 1 or lower from his hand. I'm not sure what targets he's looking for, but he opts not to do it, looks like. Gains the soul damage, it does stick. Direct attacks. Goblin Slayer doesn't intercept. Straight to level, no cancels from the Goblin Slayer, a little bit rough. Hopefully they'll be coming out later. Goblin Slayer, of course, a very potent deck. His 500 in front Priestess in the back row is a very nifty tech card, I think. Any event played, you can send her to stock. So on play of the torches, she'll be sent to stock if he so wishes. Generate stock that way, as well as potential to dodge the any on reverse combos if you use the torches counter effect off turn. However, he did brainstorm yet another Goblin Slayer, so he's out 3, right? 3 of them are in the waiting room, and he opted to get a elf, probably just to send them back into the deck with the torches. Plays the torch, mills another climax, gets the mills 2 of this climaxes. That's unfortunate for him. The only climax he's seen all game is the one that he's kind of discarded. I wouldn't say discarded. Either he torched or he brainstormed. He does add it to hand, though. He has 1 Goblin Slayer 1-0 at the very least, so probably will get the effect off if he does play the climax. I'm not sure if he does have the climax, though. Yeah, it's just going for it. I think he's going to return the 1-0s back into... Oh, no, he returns the Priestesses back, just as a means to getting them setting up for the level 2 game. He did mill a fair amount of CXs, so he probably thought this was the most prudent way to go. It's a fair way to think about it. He's about half a level behind right here, so hopefully he'll get some ground off of this. He did return 2, so Elf does get a soul. Very nice archetype for runners. Does get the Pants combo, gets the last word. I think it's maybe not last word, but the Goblin Slayer level 1-0 climax combo that would have been nice to play this turn. Those 0-0s did not work out for the Bunko player, so they didn't go back to his hand on check of top. I think if it was level 1 or higher, they go back to his hand, but unfortunately this is not the case. He does pay 3 to keep 1 of them. Probably hurting for hand. So you see what he does from here. Clocks, draw 2. Does he have anything here in order to retaliate? Those are a bunch of zeros, so it's not very hard. Minus 1k on the field, probably minus 1k to the center stage, which is any card in the front row. Can't target the big things in the back. Would be a little bit busted if so. Shoutouts to Kaiki. Yeah, so as you can see, just swinging. It's what the Bunko deck does well. On play a climax, gives power, bumps back to hand. That's the Haruhi. Goblin Slayer out a fair amount. Of climaxes, of course. Let's see here. That's 3. That's actually not too bad. So out 4 because he did pants one of the 1-0 Goblin Slayer climax combo into the hand. They're just making sure in the ruling of this particular Haruhi on play of climax. Seems like the Goblin Slayer mentioning the effects of Haruhi aren't exactly what the Bungo player has stated. We're getting a floor judge to read said rules. Goblin Slayer seems to be out 5, though. That being said, he did get the Priestess early play climax combo slow suppression out as well. So I think he's pretty poised. He has the climax if he does need it to use it. Doesn't have enough stock, so hopefully he'll be sticking to this level 1 game for at least maybe one more turn. Although even one priest is slightly problematic. I think they're still waiting for the ruling from the floor judge here. Oh, interesting. Apparently it's something to do with the clock. Debating about playing the torch here. He's trying to hit a climax. Does stick though. See, it's always very interesting, like as the Goblin Slayer player when you're playing Torch to determine when is exactly the best time to use said Torch. That being said, though, with the 0-0 in the back, if he plays the Torch, it does go to stock, so he will have enough if he does get 2 Priestesses. Now, I did see one go to the waiting room, might be the one of the ones he set back, so let's see what happens here. His 1-0 is still alive, so he can opt for to use the Goblin Slayer level 1 combo here to still just keep up building it. You don't have to early play the Priestess, although it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think the stipulation, of course, I'm not sure is 2 or less climaxes, so maybe that's the problem right now. Clock draws 2. Brainstorm. Hits 2. Gets to search 2. Now his deck is out of climaxes. How he does get most of the priestesses though. So there's that. However, he will need like some way to mill it. He does still have the torch in hand. He can mill through 4 of them. Ideally, if he wants to drop down a climax combo this turn, he will torch in such a way that there'll be like 1 card left and the climax goes back. Unless he manipulates it with High Elf. Very nice profile, like I said. I think it's gotten me out a few of the tight spots in terms of like, oh, I'm about to refresh, but I really still want to get my salvage effects off. To beef up the deck just before to allow the climax to go back. He elves, so he'll be returning 2 for an extra soul, just trying to make up for that lost ground. Still about half a level behind. Bunko at 1-3, whereas Goblin Slayer at 2-1. Returns the early play as well as another Soul Suppression Priestess. Alright. So 3, 2, 3. Cancels on 3, good player. It does go back to hand. There we go. Level. Oh, wow, cancels again. This guy checks top. Nope. Only 0. On attack, Goblin Slayer will salvage that torch. Builds up that stock. And unfortunately didn't deal as much damage as he would have liked to. Bunko keeping only 1 card. Couldn't hit the double back to hand from the strikers 0-0. Clocks draw 2. Finishes. So that's pretty nice for Sneaker Bunko, of course. He will be level 2, so he has the ability to play his 2-1 combo. If he has it, because he'll be taking a refresh point. But he will be keeping all those cards, as you can see in his clock, allowing him for a little bit of compression. He doesn't really have a full field, but he does have a full hand. Stock's not the best, but I mean, he's only playing the 2-1s, so doesn't exactly matter. They do get pretty big, I think, upwards of 10k. So nothing to scoff at in terms of level 2 game. Does draw into a CX though, not the worst, but he is ideally just refreshing back with, I think, if not 6, then 5, because final clock draw showed a climax. If memory serves, he didn't pay out the standby trigger, so he'd be out 3, seeing as he still has one of the standbys in his hand. Goblin Slayer ready though. He has 2 torches, raring to go. I feel like both of them are the Akatsuki event-esque torch. I myself run one of the other 1-0 torches. Sometimes can catch players off guard. It is a tech of though. It's always nice you can like move their brainstorm or utility card up front, and then just wreck him. Debating about what card he wants to play. He doesn't seem to have his his level 2 game out, so just going Hail Mary. Goblin Slayer is pulling the advantage a bit closer. I think Bunko needs to have like a very sizable lead right now before the Priestess suppression comes down in order to like have any hopes. He's not far enough to run away with the game just by throwing things into the Goblin Slayer. Deck is shuffled. Yeah, he didn't get much of the oomph in his Oh, standby? Is he going to? Yeah, standbys. Yeah, so uses the Haruhi effect first and then the standby triggers effect. Early plays his 3-2 endgame. He did ditch a climax though in order to, I think, salvage with the 0-0 Megumin for 2. It'd be 2. 2 damage. He's debating So he fishes for the last Priestess with the torch, and then refreshes his deck, refreshing most of his climaxes, because he knew that there were no cards left in the deck that were... So basically he dodged 4 damage. On play of event, of course, the Priestess in the back, as I mentioned, also goes to stock. So he will have 2, 4, 6. The ability to... what's the word I'm looking for? The ability to play all the Priestesses if he so desires. Does take damage, so he really needs to send him to like 3 right now. Prevent the early play, because the Goblin Slayer did refresh with only 1 climax in there. So I think the Goblin Slayer early play is active. Otherwise, I think I think it is 2 or less to CXs, because the only the early play Goblin Slayer in itself is... Oh, sorry, it's the particular the card he just clocked that allows you to early play the Priestess. My bad. Yes, that's what it was. The Rize of the deck. Plays 2 Priestesses. Draws a lot of climaxes though. So the retaliation will be strong, but I mean, if he gets the the Priestess's soul suppression off, I mean, it really doesn't matter if, you know, the climaxes are out. Bunch of climaxes out. There's at least there's 2 in hand, and then he canceled 1, drew into 1, so he's out like half. I think he just milled another one, so like out 5. But I mean, again, once the soul suppression starts, it's gonna be rough for Bunko to gain much ground. He is about a level up though, so hopefully it is enough. But like, he really... See, the thing with standby, of course, you get early levels, early plays out, quote unquote early plays out, but at the same time, you're lacking a bit of soul. So there we go. Climax combo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, good player. I mean, you don't need soul suppression if you just keep canceling. Am I right? Yeah, here we go. This one's for 3. Oh no, he sided, I think. Interesting. Oh, he sided everything. Just to dodge the anti-change, I believe. Yeah, no, that's fair. He knows the Sneaker Bunko has an anti-change ready. Raring to go. Which makes sense. I mean, his siding isn't too bad. The correct... Like, the safe way to play it, you get your soul suppression off anyways, right? You don't need to reverse, so, like... What is Sneaker Bunko gonna do, right? Checking his translations. See what the retaliation is. I think since he has 2 Priestesses out, it's a 2 soul suppression, so... So, I mean, he's gonna have to find some way to deal damage this turn. Otherwise, it's just a stock generating turn, right? Not much you can do. Even if he drops down the standby climax, sorry, he's just gonna get like another 3/2 out, right? Doesn't do anything in terms of his damage. Plays over. I mean, he does have the early play. Not the early play. He does have his 3/2 through the standby, and like it will have 2 souls, so any triggers will give him that additional damage. But it's looking kind of meek for the Goblin Slayer. Or sorry, for the Sneaker Bunko this turn in terms of dealing any damage. Now, this Goblin Slayer particularly also runs the heal event. I think it's a heal 4 event. You got to sacrifice a Priestess and a Sword Maiden in order to do so, but it is a thing, especially if you're just sitting on these things, stock genning. Standby triggers another 3/2. He's going for it. No use keeping it in his hand. I don't think he has any outlets for it either, so why not? Hope right now is the fact that he won't draw another Priestess Soul Suppression Climax combo. Yes, I think so too, Audrey. I'm not sure if he does run the anti-change, but see how it goes. Standby trigger. Does he have another 3-2 that he can put off into the side, debating on it. It's a bit unfortunate that it's this current swing and not the swing of the 0-0. If this was the third one, it would be very easy to... oh wow, it actually got over it. I'm curious if it's like a level 3 killer or some sort. But as you can see, Goblin Slayer has taken no damage this turn, even with the swings. So, 2 soul suppression. Keeps one priestess alive. Yeah, no damage was done. And he also did not opt for the standby. Clocks the climax in order to level. See if he has any of the Goblin 3-2s in hand. Goblin Slayer, sorry, 3-2 finisher. I don't think he actually runs the 3-2 finisher though, because the climax combo required of it would take up slots off the priestess combo. Torch event. He does reveal the 3-2 Sword Maiden. Does lose out on that climax though again. He is out a lot. Sword Maiden does heal, so there's that. Gives 15 to globally, maybe? I feel. I'm pretty sure it's globally. Sword Maiden gives 15 global. Kind of like the Futaba, I think. Well, minus the anti-damage ability. But you do get the Scry too. So you know what's coming. Nifty event. I mean, it's the only choice between Sword Maiden and High Elf. What is he debating at this point in time is my question. Does he just wants to pump damage, save his stuff? He did not get the climax combo for the priestess though, so she is kind of a little bit on the meeker side unless he decides to play the Sword Maiden, but he will lose out on the heal. Gets the High Elf instead. Less commitment, of course, and still gets the 2 soul off. However, his deck is I think it's actually quite thin at this point in time. I think there's only 3 cards left. So the High Elf will be a little bit critical in terms of getting that climax that he might be playing for the soul for just damage this turn, I guess. Yeah, plays it down 1k1, just dealing damage. Salvage trigger, that's a bit unfortunate. Deals 3 sticks, levels, close game. I didn't see what he added to hand, unfortunately. I do believe it should be to like another priestess. But he'll probably attack with the High Elf next in order to put back 2 cards. Oh no, just oh well, which is fine. I mean, it's when High Elf attacks, she gets to put back 2. So I think at this point I would, just because I triggered a salvage climax, right? If you put back 2, yeah, that's a little bit of damage, but it also, I guess it's debatable, right? Yeah, so he's going for the extra soul, and he's putting back 2 cards. In doing so, the climax that he just played will be hitting the waiting room, and then if he has a torch in hand, he can just nullify the remaining cards of damage. Puts back 2 triggers. Oh, there you go. That was actually the best Goblin Slayer could have hoped for, honestly speaking. Yeah, gave it soul, so it should be for 3. Should be for 3. Oh, did he not take the damage? Did he only side? That's interesting. So if Goblin Slayer has Torch, then those last 2 cards, you can just get either or. Him getting the Goblin Slayer early play would be interesting in that he would probably try to fish for the heal event, where you sacrifice a Sword Maiden and whatnot. Does he have the Climax combo? He doesn't, but I think he does have the event that on reverse burn 2 or something like that, or on cancel burn 1. Pays 2. All right. Doesn't clock. opts to just play his 3/2 support, it seems. Allows him to draw a card. Looks like a pretty big number for a like quote unquote support card, so I'm actually not sure. Not too familiar on the Bunko, but I believe that's Chocolat, maybe? From whatchamacallit. Oh man, name escapes me right now. That anime. It's a really funny one. I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's the one where he has to be forced to make decisions. No Kome? It's not Nekopara, although that Chocolat it has twin tails, black hair, Audrey. Chocolat, I think the anime is called No Kome, like shortened, where the main character has to be forced to make really dumb decisions to do. Otherwise, he has like a pain splitting headache or something like that. He does get the climax combo though, so that's nice. See what he does. He has to deal 7 damage this turn. Oh, does it again. Chocolat. Draw 2, ditch 1. Yeah, ditches the climax, blind stocks. Oh, sorry, yeah. So it's a draw 2, ditch 2, blind stock 1. Plays the event. Yeah. Yeah. Plays another event there. There's the climax. Is going in guns blazing. Priestess does not have her soul suppression up. So we'll see. I don't think he plays the scroll as well. So we'll see how this works. If he plays a scroll, he'll probably be paying 3 in order to oh, he doesn't have a torch in hand. 3/3 scroll, of course, requires a full field in order to rest a character. Or sorry, bounce a character. It's a 3/3 bounce. That's what it was. Oh, a little bit too much damage there. Yeah, but climax combo on reverse, burn 1 and burn another because he played that event. So within striking distance now, 4 damage. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Yes, there it is. There's the bounce counter. 3/3 bounces, so no damage happens. A little bit rough. See, at this point, like, you would have sided, right? Against the 0/0. He didn't know. Unless it was the climax combo requires him to be reversing a character for the burn damage. But at this point, with him being at 3/3, like you just like probably would have just sided for damage, right? Because you do get the cancel burn. And either way, right? If it so happens, then it would have bounced the other 3/2, right? So Goblin Slayer canceled well though, so see how he goes. Of course, he's not clocking. Oh, he clocks a Sword Maiden. Interesting. He does get a climax 1k1, and he does have another 3/2 soul suppress. Plays Sword Maiden. There's the event. Pays 4, sacrifices a Sword Maiden and a Priestess in order to heal 4 to memory. So we're right back where we started. Now Goblin Slayer just have to throw things, right? Just Hail Mary. That's all he wants to do. Torch event. High Elf. There we go. If you want damage, High Elf. Relevant at all forms of the game for Goblin Slayer. Very good card. 1/0. Yeah. I mean, I would keep the runner there just because you'd be able to run to a lane. But at the same time, like if you're just doing damage, it's easier to control if you have the elf fighting another character. I think that's what he surmised. he has to deal 5 damage this turn. So, I mean, if he opts to not play his climax combo, or not just a climax. So this will be for 2 sticks. Yeah. Opts to use the high elf effects. 2 triggers back. This will be for 2. And depending on if this sticks or not, he can also choose to increase the soul. Oh, no, 3. 2. Cancels, yeah. So he's going to do the same thing. He needs to do it, right? Not only does he need to do it, but he also needs another soul. Put back 2 more soul triggers in, so the chances are higher, of course. So it all comes down to this. Oh, there we go. 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah. Calculated triggers. Yeah. The ratio seems to be quite high. Besides the torches. So, actually, no. It's about like 50-50. Yeah, a little bit rough. I think I'd have to read the Bunko cards. His 3/2, his yellow 3/2. Sneaker Bunko. In order to get a more accurate kind of critique on what he could have done this turn, knowing that Goblin Slayer does have a bounce combo in hand, like how would you have played that, right? The 0/0s in front of you, you could have sided, unless the event, of course, requires you to reverse. Right, that'd be the only thing I could see, because I think if you cancel deal 1, it doesn't matter if your opponent is reversed or not, right? A lot of cards have had those combos in the past. It's a pretty staple ability for a yellow character. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look here, chat. I'm gonna see if I can't find those cards. Card translations. But yeah, there you go. So game 1 for this, or sorry, round 1 for this week, we have Goblin Slayer taking it over Sneaker Bunko. The Soul Suppress level 2 was 1 round of it was enough. 1 turn of it, I guess I should say, was enough to like significantly stump and bring it back for the Goblin Slayer. He was behind basically all game up until then. I don't think it mattered. Character needed reverse. So surprised he didn't side, and more surprised Goblins didn't bounce that loaded up level 3. He only probably had 1 in hand, so like he debated on which one to bounce. Audrey, I'm not too sure on the train of thought though. He did have a full field of level 3/2s, but the event was like on, I think, the main 2, the climax combo. Let's see here. Bunko. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Man, it's all over the place. I need the event. Is it this one? Yes. Yes, that's why. So he played the event for the event requires you to reverse and deal 1 damage. So that is why he opted to front the 0s. But after the first one sticking, like you'd be more I guess you'd debate heavier, right? Do you really need the other burn 1, or can you just side for like 3, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. Of course, I'm not too sure. Of course, how it works. Black Rabbit of the Descendant Moon. All right, a Black Rabbit. So that set was actually from the Black Rabbit. Oh. Okay, well, there you go. I need to find that 3/2 that he uses. Okay, so the 3/2 that he used with the climax combo. Yes. See, so he didn't have to reverse to get the climax combo off, right? It's the climax combo is as stated. When this attacks, if climax combo is out, gains the ability for the turn, activates twice per turn. When damage dealt by this card is not cancelled, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So he didn't need to rely so heavily on the event after the first swing, right? The first swing didn't bounce, so I would have just sided, right? Because if that side attack hit, he would have burnt one and then one anyways. If it stuck, of course. If it didn't, then like it wouldn't have mattered anyways, because the amount of damage he put out was exactly the same, right? But now he's off the swing. He's out of swing, I should say, right? Because his last 3-2 has to front. Yeah, because you side attack, you dodged the bounce event. I think looking back, like he probably should have done that because it will when this card attacks. It does not require a reverse of any sort. But yes, that was round one. Both players played, I think, pretty well on the most part. I think Goblin Slayer would have liked to have seen those priestesses stay up longer, but as you can see, there is a way around it, like to beat them over. Very hard to get rid of the soul suppression at level 2 for most sets. You'd have to find some way to overpower it. They have printed cards as of late in some certain sets that, on play you can choose a card in your opponent's field, put it into memory, and then they choose one from the memory and play it back. The same card, I'm guessing. Usually it is. And because if you do that, it loses the climax ability, right? Or any ability that it gained previously. And then becomes just like a vanilla, quote unquote, a vanilla card, right? So you can dodge it that way. I don't think a lot of people will run it. It really depends how popular Goblin Slayer becomes. Like Goblin Slayer, of course, itself is a very solid set, a very strong set. So the showing in the next maybe Japan like regionals or any high stakes event might have some good representation, which will force. I wouldn't say force. Will make players consider, teching in those kinds of cards in order to get rid of the Priestess Soul Suppression. Because as you saw, like all Sneaker Bunko needed was like a little bit more damage, right? And Goblin Slayer stalled the game long enough that he could build up stock to heal 4 and play the bounce event, while having the high elves to deal damage, even though they're level 0 with the soul gain ability, right? You make your deck fatter, yeah, that's the trade-off. But the little quip about Goblin Slayer, of course, is he kept like milling or drawing his climaxes, so he didn't cancel as well. Like if he hit a little bit less of those, I think he would have been even like at a more dominant position. But he did what he had to. Sneaker Bunko, of course, also this particular player, of course, was his coin flip deck couldn't really match the cards played by Goblin Slayer, which is the kind of deck he plays, right? Coin flip, and as such, Goblin Slayer didn't really have to keep putting down cards. Right, which allowed him to, of course, keep like events in hand or things like that, right? Rather than like having to clock them or trade them for other cards. But yeah, so that's round 1. I will be right back for round 2, guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, back for round 2. To our left, looks like our resident Million Live player. He did play Love Live Sunshine. Known to play many of the idol decks actually, but I think it's Million Live in this one. Versus our resident Slycano player, of which I'm not sure if he's playing right now. So we'll see how this goes. Our Slycano player is also a resident Overlord player. So not sure which deck he's going to be playing with now. I feel like he also has Konosuba too. So, I mean, with those sleeves, it might be the case. Oh, there we go. He picks rock. Paper. God bless the, what is it? Goshi Usa set. Blessing us with the rock, paper, scissors event. Alright, so it does look like Konosuba to the right, and it looks like Million Live to the left. Flower, not flower viewing, but it's the flower pot event, as I've been corrected so many times. You know, the ones you send as fans to idols or any actors, a bunch of flowers for them. That's what that event is for. 2 CXs in Konosuba's hand, relatively okay. There's a lot of outlets. Triggers the runner, I think, so that's unfortunate. Probably would have liked that in hand. Pass turn. Oh boy. Really? He just opted to pass turn? No, he's still going. Okay, oof. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he has Euros in his hand, man. Alright. Plays the Hibiki as well. Generally more a conservative swing. Two direct open slots. What can you do? But take it. Unless you want to cancel. Yeah, like that. Alright, generate stock. Million Live player, of course, always likes to build stock. I think the whole goal of it is to the Million Live player anyways, is to try to get to that level 2 kind of spike in the game. I'm not sure if this particular deck runs the early play Serica, but of course it heals. The Flower Pot event also compresses, goes to memory. So there is that. The Union Rikis for Megumi, which is what he has done. Asks for power. Not sure what this particular Million Live player's endgame is, so we'll be seeing it as the game develops. Does he have another? Yeah, he does. Is it a ditch CX to salvage? Maybe? Question mark? Or is he gonna just drop it? He drops it. Stock soul. Try to match the power here. For 3. 3 sticks. What a trigger. Alright, direct attack. Oof. I believe that's for 5. Ah, this one cancels. Yeah. Let me double check there. That was for 3. Yes, that would have been for 5. So, not surprising. There's the cancel. Million Live will be the first player to hit level 1. No runners on Konosuba's side, so any reverse combos is fair game. Checking how many climaxes are out. I think that was 3. He did also trigger 1, so about 5 out. Million live player smells blood. Now is the time. Level's yellow, interestingly enough, so you can only play level 1 or lower yellow cards, else they all have to be zeros. Brainstorm for 4. Hits none. Nope. Oh, hits 1. Hits 1. Sorry, I stand corrected. That was the gate. Hidden by the Yukiho. I think. Nope, never mind. Guess it wasn't. Plays the... Oh, it's a different... that was a different event that I saw. Maybe it's just different pictures? I'm not sure. Well, there you go. So that's a flower pot event. Make sure he reads it. Yeah. I think it's a check top if level 1 or higher. He can add it to hand. And salvage 1. Oh no, yeah. Check top. Sorry, so I'm just trying to keep forgetting the effects of the flower pot, so apologies, chat. But it seems like it's a salvage 1 and check top if it's a level probably 1 or higher. Probably went to stock. Gay combo is interesting. Plays it does seem to be opting for the level 0 game rather than his level 1. So probably not really that ready. Yeah, drops the Ana, no effect. Opts not to use the effect maybe. Debating he wants to drop a CX maybe. The yellow card that he played furthest away from the bottom there does ditch bond to the another event of his. There we go. Just oh, flipped it backwards because he already flipped it up. So he gets the salvage card. Not hurting for hand, I guess in this case. He does opt to salvage the early play Serica. Cancels from the Konosuba. Probably running out pretty soon. Does trigger. Yeah, there's the level. With a level 1. One more swing from the Million Live player. Yeesh. So double gate, not the best. Really never want to trigger twice or 2 climaxes in a row. Always feels bad, especially when you're playing a deck that like runs like the 2 souls. Them triggering that always is a thing. On death, Katsuki, I believe. So he picks up the early. I think that's the early play Aqua. Right, and we'll see what happens here. This particular Konosuba, I think, runs the Union level 1 combo, which really doesn't care if you had the reverse or not. So phase 1. Akatsuki. Pay 1 Akatsuki. So an Amagi, I guess you could say. But Amagi you play on Climax, though, so I guess it's just a pay 1. Check out the top 4, yeah. So he knows he's out quite a few Climaxes, so he's probably just thinning his deck that way. Also trying to fetch his level 1 game. Requires the resonance. I think that's what it was in order to use the Amagi effect. He showed his the Megumin from his hand. Yeah, a few cards left in the deck. Drops 1, drops 2, 3. Yeah, so he manages to amass the Tri-Field of Union. Union, a very good level 1 climax combo. Not only do you get an additional card, but you potentially can also stock as well. Sticks. Unfortunately, his check top didn't pan out. Yeah, blind stock. Check top. Again, a little bit of a whiff there. So, of course, not the worst. Yeah, on reverse. And as effect, I think when she gets reversed, you may mill, or not mill, but you can check top. Million live being sent to level 2 right away. Serica should be able to kind of stabilize Million live as she does heal on the early play. Union's not big at all, so they should fall pretty shortly. Refresh damage. So yeah, we'll see what Million Live does this turn. He's been drawing, like, he's been just a little bit unlucky with the climaxes this part of the game before refresh. Triggering 2 and drawing like another just now, like a little bit rough. See if he has ways to mitigate the climaxes in his hand. Of course, Konosuba doesn't really care about the losing the unions, I don't think, as their level 2 game is also pretty potent with the Aqua. Again, we have the Flower Pot event, salvaging a card. Check top. It is a level 3, it looks like. Man, I should really read up on this Flower Pot event. So we will see. Hopefully he will be healing like 2 this turn. He did get the 1 Serica back. Yeah, there we go. A2 heal 1. He has another. Doesn't look like he has another Flower Pot event. But I mean, he doesn't have the stock to play it either. However, he did get these before his refresh, so there's that. He will be. At least those 2 cards won't be going back. Swings with the Serica early, of course. You want to dodge the any anti-change that Konosuba might have, being at level 1, of course. You want to swing with those early plays first. For 2, sticks. Konosuba canceling very well, actually. I think it was even after a refresh. Konosuba in a pretty good place right now. Bunch of stock, full field, and his clock wasn't not even a level 2 before he refreshed. So compression pretty well on the Konosuba side. Million Light player, unfortunately, not so lucky. Running the 1-0 bombs though, it looks like, or maybe it's not a bomb. It's the climax combo. Yeah, he's just salvaging cards. Yep, yeah, it's another Serica. So yeah, that's the level 1 climax combo. Yeah, so turn is passed. Only the 3-2 is still alive. Draws another climax from Konosuba side. So shows the resonance ability. That's a lot of climaxes out. Yeah, it just takes the Megumin. Does it again. Ditches 1. Look at top 4. He went through a lot of his climaxes. Takes the 3-2 Megumin. Still has 2 climaxes in hand. And I couldn't really count the climaxes, but he's probably at least more than half out. Like I'd say, like maybe at best there's like 2 left in the deck. He needs some way right now to mill his deck, if at all possible, or if there was a way just to refresh. Check top, add ditch. Just ditches the Megumin. It's the Flower Stand event. There we go. Flower Stand event, as I mentioned, is the one that choosing me send it to memory. If it is a level 0 or lower. So it's level 0 or lower. That's my bad, chat. That's why when you revealed level 3, it didn't go. So I stand corrected. But he has 2 in memory, about to refresh. Preparing for it right now. Ideally, what Konosuba is going to do is not swing at center first. Okay, well, he's going to swing at center first for 3. That's unfortunate, right? Oh, no, it cancels. So that's okay. 2, 1, 2. Oh, so that doesn't go back. So that's okay. What I mentioned about this is, like, I would have, if you don't know those cards are climaxes, then you would have probably swung with against the 3/2 first, because you'd be doing 1 damage, 1 to 2 damage. That's cards that will stick. If you do 3 damage, like in a chance you trigger off of the direct attack, then those 3 don't go back, right? Even if you do hit the 3. Actually, no. I let me rephrase that. I think that was the right play, because if you hit all 3, it wouldn't matter. If you hit 3 exactly, then he would have taken 3 and then refresh. So that's more correct. I stand corrected. Yeah, Konosuba played well. Direct attack first. Unfortunately, Million Lives still out a bunch of climaxes. I think he never paid out one of his gate triggers in his stock, and he just canceled twice, 1 in hand, and he just unfortunately refreshed damage into 1. So quite precarious for him. He does have the Sericas, of course, so might be able to stabilize a bit harder. He needs to find a way to mill out his deck, though. On the plus side, didn't do too much damage to Million Lives, so you can still bring it back here. Both are at level 2. I feel like both are around level 2. Yeah. Konosuba, of course, just trying to build enough stock to just like play all the Megumins in the world at his end game, as well as playing the what was it? The foreclosure event. I don't think it would really affect Million Live, but it is there. Heals 1 off another Serica. Now this is the point where you're wondering if Konosuba has an anti-change of some sort. He does have enough stock to do so. Not very scared. 1-0, plays it over. Does he have the Climax combo? Can aim to still salvage. But then he'll reveal like he's out a bunch of climaxes, of course, because he just brainstormed into 1. Yeah, drops down the 1k1. The climax combos off the 1-0 for closest to the bottom there. On reverse salvage. I mean, to dodge any potential anti-change, you direct attack first, and then debate about side attacking with probably the level with your other Serica. Yeah, Direct attack first. This will be for a whole whopping 4. Okay. So we're not going back. Konosuba doing well to mitigate a bunch of damage, though. Even though he brainstormed and Akatsuki several climaxes. Deck is pretty compressed enough. Ah, well, eye for an eye, right? Climax refresh for a climax refresh. Oh my god, these triggers are killing Million Live, dude. Another gate. He doesn't. I don't think he needs that many cards in hand, but he'd rather cancel right now with so little climaxes left in his deck. I think his deck is like huge right now, though. Like the ratio is not going to be happy. Not a happy ratio for Million Live. Because like that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's like 6 out for Million Live, with the majority of his deck remaining. Yeah, he's just debating like what can he salvage. Yeah, just another 1-0. Of course, he's pondering because like the amount of stock he has left after this swing, even though he's being like pretty might get to level 3, is he won't have enough, right? Just not enough. All right, Konosuba to level 3. He has 7 stock. He'll be able to play as Megumins. He's quite ready. He's had that CX all game long since the beginning. Debating if he wants to clock. Counting the climaxes here. It really just depends what he wants to drop. He has 3 targets for the Megumi clock kick event. Not clock kick event, sorry. The clock kick climax combo where he burns and clock kicks. Yeah, there we go. Megumi also one of those draw on play equal to the amount of probably magic. Anyways, amount of on trait. And he just plays a union. Just cuz. Doesn't have to overcommit this turn, of course. Maybe confident in his compression. He doesn't need the stock in order to do a lot of things most of his end game, so probably why he just rather play just a costless character. Oof. Yeah, you saw that, chat. Took 4 and then just clock kicked. Explosion from Megumin. Yeah. Not a happy time for Million Live with a bunch of climaxes gone. Here we go again. Yeah. Oh god, dude. Yeah, that's just another 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. This one cancels though. That's nice. So Million Live still has a chance to make it back. He has to deal 6 damage. No climaxes. If he wants to go, he wants to have a climax, he's gonna have to clock. What are the chances though? Pretty low. He might have like 1 left. Yeah, he also has count his deck. He will have enough if he clocks and draws too. If he draws a CX, that'd be like the only way he can get out. Because he plays a 1k1. Yeah, going for it. Going for it. Nope. He does get one of the flower stand events. So he might be able to get back to 3-2, but I'm not sure exactly. He has to trigger 2 now, right? He doesn't have a climax in hand. If he can play a 3-2. Yeah, there we go. If he has 4 stock, it'd be nice. Yeah, there you go. Phase 2. It's gonna be rough for the Million Live because he needs to play another costless card. Probably level 0 of some sort. He has to trigger with that, unless. Well, I mean, he has to trigger on any one of them. Mega Moons are pretty small. I mean, the Mega Moons have already done their job. They racked up a whopping, I think it was 10 damage, unanswered. Only thing canceling was a Union Swing. Yep, just plays the Costas card. He will have to trigger. No climaxes. No additional effects. This is just vanilla swing. How many climaxes are out from the Konosuba player is the real question. I feel like he still has a fair amount in there. No trigger. Takes 2. For 1. 1. Okay, so he has to trigger here. Oh, pay 2. Seems to be some sort of effect from this particular 3-2. Oh, and Million Life clutches it. I think he gets an additional soul if he like pitches 2 or pays 2 or something. Here, I'll figure it out. Oh my god, Million Live clutches it out. My goodness. Let's see. Is it this character? Nope, definitely not. That's unfortunate for the that's unfortunate for the Konosuba player. Did everything right. Super unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to find this card chat. I just give me 1 second. I've gotta find that girl first and then like search up her name. Mirai. I think that's her name. Very curious. Very curious. Oh, that is not that card then. That's not her name either. Nope. Minako? Oh, we're getting closer. Getting closer, chat. I will find it for you, I swear. Noriko? I don't think her name's Noriko. Nope. There are too many darn girls in this set, is what I'm gonna decree right now. It's not Kotoha. Yeah, it's definitely not Kotoha. Yeah, but that is round 2. Very tight game, of course. Konosuba dealing absurd amount of damage with the Megumi climax combo, where you deal 4 damage and then clock kick. I just can't find this card. Yikes. Alright, let's go from the top here. I swear I'll do it, chat. I'll do it for you. Never there can be enough cute anime girls in a set. Alright, that's also a fair statement. That is a fair statement. I will not argue against it. Man, that was down to the wire. Am I missing something here? No, this is all the was it like a promo or something? All right. Well, we'll just keep it going. I will keep trying to find that card. It's very interesting. I feel like it was an additional soul because I don't think he triggered the soul. That's not the card. That's not the card. Certainly not the card. Nope. 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 Not that. One day chat. No, I can't find a chat. Can't do it. All right, so here we go. It looks like our Konosuba player taking a switch of sides against the our afterglow. Our Konosuba player keeps complaining he had 3 climaxes left in that deck and everything stuck. Unanswered 6 stuck. You know, I'd be tilted too. I'd be tilted too. What can you say? Unlucky? Or maybe you can say the better set won. Oh, Sky, you're right. Lilia player cutted the Konosuba player better. I didn't think about that. You're right. All comes down to the cut, friends. All right. Beginning of round 3. Here we go. Konosuba starting out with 2 climaxes. Managed to ditch 3. Keeps the the Union climax combo, of course. I think he drew into another, unfortunately. So he wants to do, I think it's a stock soul, so maybe. Afterglow player starting things out with I think just a regular card, regular utility card, might be a check top, ditch a card. All right. Yikes! Another climax. So you know, sometimes when you wish for your climaxes to come sooner last game because of canceling, the wish might be delayed. Right now, now you have way too many. Way too many. All right. Yeah, I just go Hail Mary. Oh, that's another one. Holy. If only Afterglow knew how much he is out right now. I mean, I'm sure he has an inkling. Oh, but everything sticks straight to level 1 with you, friend. Let's see if Afterglow has the ability to amass his level 1 game. That's 3 easy targets for the pickin'. He doesn't clock the 3-2 Ricky alarm effect. So let's see if he has any. He does have one of them. Does have one of his level 1s, and I think he does have the climax combo. Let's count how many Konosuba's out, eh? That's 2 in the waiting room, 2 in hand, 1 in stock. We're sitting at 5, chat. He needs the Union Ricky effect. That also serves as his Amagi / Akatsuki effect on resonance. He really needs that right now. Mill through his deck. As we saw last game, he used it quite effectively. Afterglow also dropping all his cards as well. He does have one of the level ones, so maybe he's just opting for that. Just deal damage this turn. He might not get another chance if he gets the not the brainstorms, the Union Amagi / Akatsuki. It's okay. Now we know that when Union blind stocks, it won't be a climax because it's in his hands. That's fair. A silver lining in all things. Yikes! So there's a 2-soul trigger there. Oh boy, yeah, eats everything. 8 damage. I feel like one should have carried over. Maybe my math is wrong. I feel like one should have carried over. Minami effect, of course. Sticks 2. And yeah, just a heavy hit this turn. Not too bad. On sent to waiting room, Akatsuki effect, I think. Did ditch the CX. Of course, he also milled another CX. Does it again. He's just getting cards he can play. Draws for turn. Probably will clock the Aqua. Yeah, clocks the Aqua. Draws 2. Another climax. Oh, now we actually know that if he blind stocks. Oh my god, dude. Can I get some Fs in the chat for Konosuba? Oh my god. You hate to see that happen. I mean, he's already getting his end game because he's just like waiting for it to be set straight there. From level 1 straight to 3, maybe, depending on what climax Afterglow plays. Yeah, so he's they're using the Akatsuki effect, resonance. Still hasn't hit a Union. I'm not sure if he actually has any Unions in play in his hand. If so, he needs it now more than ever. Does pay out the climax though that's important. He gets 1 Union finally, after painstaking diggingly through his deck. Yeah, got a Union, Audrey. Yeah, that's right. Does he have 2? Alright. At least there's 2. At least there's 2. And chances are he'll probably hit most of the draws as well. Yeah, there's the climax. But that being said, it's not exactly the worst case. He did mill out his deck sufficiently such that he'll refresh next turn. Blind stock check top. Yeah, correct adds. So the plussing is still happening. Really good for the Konosuba player. Unfortunately, though, he will be adding to hand. The climax won't be going back, so he's going to be out 2, 3, 5 left going back into his deck. Union, of course, very deck heavy in terms of things getting resources from the deck. Ideally, he would have maybe 1 card left over, so the climax would have gone back. But what can you do? Lucky part, of course, is he wasn't level 2 by the time he refreshed, so all those cards stay out of the deck. But his hand size is not too strong right now, so there's the unfortunate case of that. Yeah. Afterglow, of course, kind of in a little bit of an odd spot himself. If he does manage to get his 3/2 Ricky, he can be sent to level 2. He's going to pay 3. He also pays out that climax that he got way back when. He opts. No, he does clock. I was gonna say, nah. Suba's doing okay at this point. Lots of stock at 2, and he should be fine. Yeah. I was just critiquing I under ideal circumstances he has maybe 1 card left, so that climax goes back. Not to count him out at all. 3 CXs out isn't too big a deal. We know the mill power that we just witnessed from Konosuba, so I'm not too worried. Ideally, he stays in this level 2 a little bit longer, build up more stock for the Megumi climax combo. Deal 4 clock kick. Yeah, so this leaves a little bit of a precarious situation, like I said, for the Afterglow player. He doesn't have any of the other 1-0s, but he does have the Climax combo, so he will be plussing. But at the same time, like he would have probably liked to be at level 2, maybe for early plays. But I think it requires 2 or less CXs, so not so bad. Yeah, milling through, probably gonna get the Mocha. Oh no, he opts to get the 3-2. Minami effect, of course, gives it power enough to beat over the 1-0, which is also a bomb. So, but I mean, at least it forced the bomb effect. He sided for this one, no damage. Wanted to keep the card. He put the two 2K1 splittables on the center and Tsugumi. Yeah, so like I said, Konosuba doing okay right now. Still at level 2, so probably just gonna mill through his deck again. Gets the Aqua, does it again. Yeah, milling through 8 cards a turn. Here it's a good effect. Gets another Megumin. Solid shape, so I mean, at this point in time, I think that's an early play. Early play? Question mark? Nope, just the 1-0, I think, yeah. Does he have the other climax? Does he have the climax? No, he doesn't have another Union climax. No, at this point he's just opting to stock Soul some more. Yeah, just trying to deal as much damage, closing the ground, I guess. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, first card. First card cancel. Ooh. Okay, so Afterglow canceling very well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I mean, Afterglow kind of in the perfect spot. He doesn't even have to clock anymore for the Ricky effect, unless he really wants to like draw 2 additional cards. I don't think he does need to, unless he needs to mill through the rest of his deck, of course. Yeah. No, just goes for it. Really curious what card he would need to force like a clock shot 2. Was he looking for a particular card? Right, because if he just left it there and used the Ricky effect, like the last card would have just hit the clock, would have searched, and then hit the refresh damage, and he'd still be at the same damage. Wow, that's a very lucky refresh damage point. 4 more music characters during the start of Encore phase, you get to blind stock. It itself is also a suicide and early play counter, I guess you can say. Not counter, I shouldn't use that word because counter means a different thing in this game of ours. As a response to early plays, I guess you could say. A way to deal with them. There are level 3 killers in the game that gains power if they're facing a level 3, and then there are those that either send them to the bottom of the deck, to the waiting room, or to the clock, or to stock if they are higher level than their owner's level. And in this case, this 2-1 is one of those cards that send the early play on reverse to somewhere else. Oh, he doesn't have much resources, so he just does a 2K1 splittable. That's very interesting. He's keeping his entire hand for the end game. It's very weird. Maybe he feels like he's sufficiently far enough. Is this the anti-change? Yep. He's just gonna ditch. And he's gonna character encore, I'm sure. No, he just lets it go. Interesting. Already got the heal off, so why does it matter? And cancels. That's very interesting. I like to see Afterglow players' hand. Yeah, Audrey, I'm not actually sure exactly what was in his hand, but it does seem like a very odd play that you'd only be able to play 2 cards in the level 2 game, unless like the rest of it was like strictly the mochas and whatnot. I mean, if nothing else, he did manage to get the climax combo he needs for the mocha. But this allows Konosuba to even stabilize further after like being out all those climaxes. Healed to stock, very strong. Now the game's basically tied with Konosuba in favor, as it is the attacking player. Doesn't have to spend resources, right? He's going to build up stock again. He has so much stock. He didn't even care about using the anti-change to ditch like 3 cards. Right? He's like that. Amassed that many cards. At this point, he's just kind of... he also used the climax last turn just to build stock because, like, on his play of the Megumins, they too look at the X amount of cards from the top of your deck, depending on the traits, and you get to add a card from that. Debating if he wants to use the other union to get through the rest of his deck or not. Is there a card he needs? Is it a climax? Nope, you're just gonna go for it. Build that stock. Nope, double checking. Yeah, Audrey, again, it is very weird, right? Oh, yeah. So last card was a gate, and he knew. But what else can you do? Because if you pay 1 and discard 1, you end up with nothing for the Konosuba player. So knowing that was last card was a gate, like the best strategy is just to whiff the gate rather than pay 1 and ditch 1 for nothing. So good on the Konosuba player for knowing like what was that last card in his deck and doing the optimal play around it. You'd never want to see like a gate trigger whiff, but you never again want to like waste resources only to like not gain anything anyways. Yeah, so with Afterglow now at level 3, we'll see what he does here. Again, Mocha's a very good card, but yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not sure why he didn't go through like such a harder play last turn and instead getting sent to level 3. Because like right now, Megumin is like, just primed and raring to go on Konosuba's side. If he does get to level 3, right? Just drop it all. Like if possible, drop 3 because I think he has the means now to do all 3. Plays the first Mocha. Is there another thing? Plays the other Sugumi. No, sorry, that's Rin, I believe the name is. I'm not too sure on the on Afterglow names. He needs to find a way to buff up everyone. As Fever, as I think the Rin Fever. I think that's the Fever. Can't kick in if he fully reverses the board. Could be wrong though. It might be another card, but I feel like it should be this one. Yeah. So damage. Debating right now to pay 1. What's he doing? Check top. Oh, deal damage equal to the alarms is what this card does. That's a bit rough. That cancels. Mocha, yeah, ran. Sorry, that's the name. Ran with the alarm and then canceled the soul damage. Just add insult to injury. All right, so there's a foreclosure event. Not that it really matters in this case. Afterglow not needing any like event or stock during the off turn besides like a backup of some sort. I don't think this particular Afterglow player does even run backups. And there we go, dropping the Megumin. That particular 3-2 that he first played allows you to play an additional 3-2, basically costless, from hand. There you go. There's the other Megumi. He's trying to fish for the climax out of 3 cards. Doesn't hit it. So maybe he doesn't even have it. No, he does have it, sorry. I stand corrected. There it is. How many climaxes out by the Afterglow player? A fair amount. So I'm expecting at least one of the Megumins to stick what they do. Yep, pay 1, burn 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so this one is cancelled and does that for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one sticks and clock kick. So now it's probably going to be a side attack, right? Against the level 1. I mean, that's the only thing I can see, right? You'd have to side for at least minimal damage, unless there's an additional ability. Burn. Yeah, this one. Burn 1. Burn 2. That's game. Yep. There we go. Quite the potent finish from the Megumins, as you can see here. Probably on. I'm not exactly sure on the last Megumin's effect. Of course, it is a burn effect that I could see. Pay 4 seems pretty potent. Yeah. Again, I'd like to question Afterglow players like first level 2 turn. Not exactly sure what happened there. Maybe it can give me more insight after the game. I have a feeling it's just like the cards in his hand didn't really allow him to play more cards. And as you can see, or as the game progressed, he didn't really amass his 1-0 Sugumi, I think her name was, 1-0 climax combo well enough to plus enough to keep throwing down cards. So maybe that in the end that's what all mattered, because he did pay 3 to keep one of the 1-0s, which isn't exactly what you'd like to do in the early part of the game. Which kind of tells me he has a bunch of like maybe the 3-2s in hand, but not much else. But there you go. That is round 3 for our Weiss weeklies. Konosuba, taking it for this round, losing last round. And hopefully next round we will see the 3 O's face off each other for the coveted first place spot for this week. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Sup, Anime Sky? How's it going? Shoutouts to promos. We're just waiting for the 4-0 game right now. No, Audrey, not as of yet. Actually, Audrey, you know what? I just had a flash of brilliance. What if that card the Million Live player played was a TD card? And that's why I can't find it. Yeah, it was. So it's pay 2, discard a card, deal 1 damage. So that's how he dealt the extra damage. That's what happened. The extra burn came from that. So that's where the 3 damage did for the exact damage. So it's not the pay 2 burn 3, but pay 2 ditch 1 burn 1. And it's on attack, so it doesn't need reversing. That's what it was. Long day, right? Yeah, man. All right. Seems like pairings have been established for our last round of the week. Bye, Karen card. Yep. All right, chat. Let's see who the based 3-0s are. See who's gunning for that top spot. Oh, it's a million live player. He's back. Against, hey, Goblin Slayer. So, you know, it's like we know these cards. It's like we know these players. They've already played today. So now we can all look smart. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh, rock beats scissors. Let it be known. Afterglow player gets to go. I'm starting to afterglow. Sorry, I'm still in last match. Goblin Slayer gets to go first. I think that's a Goblin Slayer deck would like to go first in all scenarios with access to the Interceptor Goblin Slayer as well as the Runner High Elf. Like if you open those, you really can't go wrong. Million Live, from what I can see from his levels of the game, doesn't exactly really care when he goes first or second. Less of a deck that really matters in that regards. All right, one day they'll be finished shuffling. Oh, there we go. All right, time to begin. So it'll be interesting to see if Million Live can deal with the soul suppression that is Goblin Slayer, with also events like the heal event and the bounce event that we saw 3 matches ago. Goblin Slayer does get the level 1 CX, and he gets the Elf Runner. So let's go. That's actually perfect for him. Gets the Brainstorm as well. Yeah. Just goes for it. 3 damage. Will it stick? There we go. Hopefully the climaxes will also treat Million Live player better than last round. Last 2 rounds ago, I should say. We do know that Million Live plays an on reverse level 1 game, a salvage game at that. And as such, Goblin Slayer's cards aren't exactly huge. Respectable, of course, but a backup would solve it, but at the same time, not really surprising. Plays the standby trigger, standby climax, sorry, I keep saying triggers. Standby. Does he opt to play? Yes. Does get out the 1/1 encore, I think, and gains power. I think it's the Xenon profile. Gains like 1/5 if it's like on trade, and also has an encore. Takes 4 damage. That's fine. A little bit awkward spot for Goblin Slayer. Really depends if he draws into the Ricky. He does not. And he also has 2 of the CXs now. I say that he would have liked to draw into Ricky because if he gets the Ricky, then he would just, easy pickings for the 1-0 Goblin Slayers, but it really depends how much hand he has. Plays the Interceptor Goblin Slayer as well, very good card. So even if he plays the Climax right now, he still has enough cards in his hand to give the additional effects of the Interceptor, which is another level and 1500 attack, I believe. Yeah, just drops the 1k, 1k1. Yeah, just deal damage. Torch. So one of the torches goes, cancels, and another torch goes. So that's a little bit rough from the Goblin Slayer. His combo, of course, requiring him to either salvage the torches or to search the torches. However, he does have the Brainstorm in hand. Next turn, he can just pay at least one of those out and have the Goblin Slayer salvage it if need be. Generally speaking, though, if there's torches available in the deck, you'd like to get it from the deck just as a form of compression. Wait, okay. There we go. Right into the level slot for the Mill and Live player. He does get to hit the level 1 game first. What's pertinent here is that with a runner and chaser, the Milton Live player basically has to play like all three in order to like guarantee the 2 lanes moving. Else, Goblin Slayer can run as he wishes from at least one of those cards. Doesn't seem like he has it though. Now you also have to clock in order to get to level 1, so he is unable to get the yellow into his clock, which kind of prevents him from using the flower stand event. Now, regrettably, he does pay 1 stock. What does Torch card do? So Anime Sky, Torch is the red 1-0 event Goblin Slayer has. There are 2 variants of it, and in this case, it's the Akatsuki event, which is when you use this event, you may look at up to top 4 cards of your deck, choose one of the on-trait characters, which I think in this case is order characters, and add them to hand. The other variant is you cannot play this without a Goblin Slayer. If you do, you can move 1 card on your opponent's field to another open slot. Now, the thing with the event that I mentioned earlier, so the first variant is that it is also a counter, right? So during the attack phase, you may play this Torch event and you can mill, I wouldn't say mill, you can check up to top 4 of your cards and add a card before the damage sticks. So it's a little bit of a calculated play when you want to play those Torch events. So, Million Live just having big fat beat sticks on the board. There we go. He does pay for the Brainstorm. Does hit 1. Probably going to search for one of the 1-0 Goblin Slayers right now. Million Live cards are pretty big, though. So, he'll need an additional power somewhere. Yeah, he does get this 1-0 Climax combo. We know it's ready. The real question is, will he beat over or will he side attack? Because Goblin Slayer, of course, is on attack. Either search or salvage one of those torches. Yeah, there you go. So he has triple threat. I mean, you can just drop it. Now he also plays the Rize and does not use the effect. Well, I mean, Rize is, I think, on death, maybe. Yeah, so he just salvages the 1 torch and then direct attack for 3 cancels. Very nice. Salvages the other torch event. Is he fronting or siding? Also cancels. I think that might have been a side. The Pants trigger, of course, allowing him to get his Priestess early play Soul Suppression game off. Now he's searching for the torch. It was the last one, as we know, because the 4th torch is in his stock. Is he siding with this one as well? for 1. Yep, so he sided. So he opted to keep the bodies there. See if he has any of the 2k backups in hand. It would be a Priestess backup. 1k backup, and if it's an order character, get it another k. This set has basically just all order characters, so it's basically 2k. There we go, the Flower Stand event. Pay 1, salvage 1, check top. If it is a 0, add it to stock. See what he gets. I wouldn't be surprised if he kept getting his early plays. Just getting one of those, the 0/0 that also bonds to the Flower Stand. There you go. And on the top of the deck, it looks like it's another Serica, so he just opts to brainstorm it, salvage. Yep, salvage is a Serica. I don't think he bonded to another Flower Stand, maybe because it's not in the waiting room. Gets one of his 1/0 on reverse combos. Well, let's see. Oh, he does get the another Flower Stand off, depending on what he wants to salvage. Now we know he has the early play in hand, and at least one of the 1/0s part of his climax combo. Real question is, does he have a climax combo? Nope, gets another one of his early plays. He's fine with that. Does seem to have a climax in hand, so see how it goes. And check top. It is a 0, so it goes to stock. The refund on the Flower Stand events are quite nice, especially since they got them off before the refresh. So those 2 cards will not be going back, as well as any stock they have generated as well. Pulls it back. Yeah, plays the 1/0. Does he have a gate? Does he have it? Now there is a lot of cards on the Million Life player. The real question is, does he have the ability to keep them all alive? There is the level 1 climax combo for the 1/0 he just played. On reverse, he gets a salvage. So the plussing isn't going to be too much this turn. So it really is a question of A Million Life can keep the 1/1s on his board without having to pay for the encore cost. Yeah, so it seems to be a frontal attack. There it is, the 2k backup. So he denies the on reverse effect. Damage does stick, however, though. This one will be for 3. Does he have another backup? I mean, if he does, he uses it. If not, he uses a torch. He's going to use a torch event. So he's going to see if he can. Yep, he just gets the 0/0 Goblin Slayer and Priestess Bond. Unfortunately, if he should have torched for the rest of it, but that's always a retrospect. If he had torched the rest of the 3 cards, those would not have been the damage he received. But I mean, the 0/0 was too good to pass up by itself, and if you felt like there was another climax coming, it would have been fine. Yeah, there you go. So there was the cancel because of the torch. Otherwise, yeah. So getting that 0/0 is important because that's the means of him getting his early play Priestess out. It has to be in clock in order for it to be early played. I think Goblin Slayer right now is okay, I guess. If he does have a climax, he'd probably opt to use it in order for the side attack the 1/1s. As we saw his on his previous turn, he had to side attack with his Goblin Slayers because the strengths were just too high. Yeah, there we go. So there's the early play Priestess because he clocked the 0/0 off of the torch that he drew. So if he drops the second one, then he is golden because each of them will suppress as one soul. So if he drops the second one, then it'll be a 2-soul suppress up until the end of the Million Lives player's next turn. Which begs the question if he's going to be doing damage anyways. Million Life player up like a whole level and then some. So Goblin Slayer has some ground to make up. And but ground to make up can be done in two ways. He can do a bunch of damage this turn to overtake, or he can do like a fair amount of damage, take no damage next turn because of soul suppress, and then still be dandy because now he's on the attacking front when damage is about even. Debating on if he wants to use another torch. I think he does have a lot of climaxes left. I think. Let's see here. See if I can't sift through what he has in his waiting room here. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of climaxes because like obviously he got hit to level 2 pretty fast. I feel like there might have overall been like one or two cancels from Goblin Slayer. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 in there. So in the unfortunate case that he torches, I mean the rest of them could just be climaxes. Pays 2 to get the other pieces out. He does have 2 of the climaxes in his hand as well, so like that's about. He draws another one. That's rough. Yeah, so he knew they were coming up. That being said, I mean he can still suppress for days if he keeps his priestesses alive. Plays the torch. No, doesn't pay the torch. I think he just discards it. Alarm effect from the Goblin Slayer and Priestess Eternal Bond or something like that. If that was the card's name, you get to scry. I won't say scry. You get to see the top. There we go. There's the climax combo. Just opting, like he can't get rid of it at this point in time, so he's going to keep the 2. He'll be refreshing with only 5 in there, so that's going to be a bit rough. But he has torches in hand. He can mitigate damage with those torches. He might. I'm not sure if he's siding or crashing with the elf, but he's putting 2 back in. Probably triggers. Yep, both triggers. We know that he has 1 card left, so. Elf, Alcorn being very good in that you can get an extra soul just returning 2 cards in his deck. There we go, for 3. Yeah, so he's crashing it. Cancels, Million Lavin is canceling very well. Like, obscenely so. Takes 4, though. Because of a direct attack. And cancels. Like, just getting to level 2. That's rough. So here's the refresh damage. Hopefully not a climax. Why? I do this like every week. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So there's like 4 out of Goblin Slayer right now. So Million Live kind of has been paying attention to like, how many times he's canceled, how many times he's played a climax. He can kind of surmise where the rest of his climaxes are. And definitely not in his stock, so they have to be in his hand, especially not canceling everything. No markers or anything of that sort, too. Debating on encoring the 1/1. It doesn't exactly matter, I think, at this point, because like he's so suppressed times 2. No, he keeps it though. Can it even get over? Very questionable. Very questionable. Sigma Flare, what's up, man? Yeah, if there's no way for Million Live to contest the priestesses to get them off the board, he's gonna be in it for a rough time because he has 2 climaxes. Oh, hopefully not a climax. Well, see there's an eye for an eye, right? There we go. You get one of those, the other player gets one of those. Not exactly the worst. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so as you can see, Million Live kind of hurting for hand right now. I think he's not sure if he clocked and draw 2 yet. I feel like he still hasn't. Yeah, there we go. Clock draw 2. He does get another viewing event, which is nice, but there might not be much in his waiting room that he needs. Debating about brainstorming. 5 cards in stock. He can probably play one of the Sericas. That is early play. Let me just double check the conditions for our friend there on the 3-2. Serica. Yeah, so as long as there are 2 or more flower stands, they get to early play it. So it's active. Does get a climax back, but like the only thing he can reverse anyways is the elf in the middle, and again, not doing damage this turn. He'll have to trigger to do even 1 point of damage. Debating really hard about brainstorming. Yeah, goes for it. Hits 1. He does reveal a bunch of his level 1 combos, to which, I mean, he has the climax for it now that it has happened. No, he gets Serica instead. Yeah. Early play Serica, heal 1. So from what I can see from the Goblin Slayer hand, he does have his scroll ready to be played. So Goblin Slayer, not Goblin Slayer, Million Live has to be slightly cognizant of that event, the 3/3 bounce. His field has to be the restriction on Goblin Slayer. Of course, he has to have a full field, 5 characters in order to use the bounce event. So if there's at any point, no, he just plays the 1k1. Doesn't matter. Doesn't care about the climax combo. So at least the Serica, the 3/2 he played, can now deal at least 1 point of damage. The other 2 1/1s will need to trigger in order to deal any damage of any sort because of the soul suppression. Looks like he can't get over both priestesses this turn. At least he doesn't want to expend the resources. Another Serica did not heal anything, so opt to just get rid of 1 for 2 points of damage for the 1k1 and the trigger. Using the torch, 1, 2. He's going to stop there. Oh, he just goes all 4. It gets back the 0/0 Rize event and cancels. So extremely good torch event usage from Goblin Slayer in order to cancel that damage. Otherwise, he would have 8-2. But again, it's always very hard to tell. Yep, no damage because he didn't trigger. I see. The powers were tied between Serica and Priestess, but at this point, you just want to get Priestess off the board. Goblin Slayer would probably, I think, opt to pay 3 to keep 1 Priestess alive. The problem becomes if you had to do that to keep 2 Priestesses alive. Yeah. Is he just going to side then? Side for stock gen? Yeah. just to keep those characters alive, decrease the damage. Yeah, pay 3. Yeah. There you go. Because he has 2 more climaxes ready to go for Goblin Slayer. He just pays 3 because he knows he doesn't have to expend too much resources next turn. He's just gonna build back the 3. He can stay even. He did lose his 1 heal event in that torch play though, so there is that. Yeah, drops down another climax, or getting ready to drop down another climax. Million Live will find it difficult to keep on top of damage against the Soul Suppress right now, it looks like, because he already lost one of the Sericas. At best, he trades again with just another Serica. Oof, just taking a bunch of damage. Yeah, there's don't cancel. So this, at least the Serica will heal another 1 point of damage, so both players are, keeping in that level 2 game consistently. I'm wondering if Million Live will decide to clock to draw more cards this turn. He does have a bunch of stock. Draws 2. I think you would draw 2 because you want to fish for that climax in order to have any hopes of dealing damage. Soul Suppression is out for Goblin Slayer. -2 across the board. Or at least opposite to it. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's across the board though, which makes it extremely potent. Yes. All your opponent's character gets -1. So, -1 soul, that is, at the beginning of their turn. At the beginning of their attack phase, sorry. So yeah. Again, he plays this Erica. So let's see what they can do this turn. He'll have to drop down another climax in order to even deal damage, hoping to trigger for the 1/1s. Because everything, as soon as he enters the attack phase, is -2 soul. And even at this point in time, like, he was able to side with the last one. I'm wondering if he can even do it this turn now. But I mean, he's just gonna move his 1/1 with his 3/2 in order to beat over the 0/0, right? Just to keep the 1/1, because he can trade again with the other Serica. But like at the same time, Goblins are just gonna pay 3 again. Guessing that the one on the left is a new set. Sigma Flare, yes. The one to the left is Million Live, Idolmaster. So it's one of the more recent sets. It's to celebrate. I wouldn't say so. The set is based on the new game, the new mobile game, Million Live. So it has a bunch of the new idols as well as the returning idols from Idolmaster 765. So this time, Serica is able to beat over the Priestess without losing to it, because of the, I think the 3/2 played in the back there because he played a switch trigger. Switch climax. Sorry, I always say trigger. Switch climax gets his 3/2 support. However, he, as you can see, he's not doing any damage at all. So he has built enough, sufficient enough stock to use his Kotori combo, which is a very good combo, but it's quite stock intensive. It is a pay 3 and discard a card, you deal 1 damage to your opponent 3 times. I don't need to know a mobile game. That's fair, dude. I have so many that like I just log into versus like actually playing. But yeah, so as you can see, guys, the soul suppression just hurts so much. Like Million Life has dealt 1 damage, I think, in the last 2 turns, and just constantly 3 swinging as well. So it's not they don't want to. It's just Priestess is just too good. Oh, there we go. Finally gets another 1 damage. Opted to just front attack. He paid 3 to keep the 1/1 alive. Oh, okay. So he's finally opting to just let the Priestess go. Maybe it's because he feels like he can get another one. I'm not too sure. See how it goes. Oh yeah, because he's just gonna hit level 3 anyways. Yeah, there we go. He gets his other one. And he gets another climax. So, oh no, he just ditches it. He's fine. Doesn't need it. Probably gonna refresh soon. Yeah, looks like 4 to 5 cards left. Does he have a torch event? Yeah, I guess the nice thing about like those gacha games is like, you know, there really is no like heavy commit that you really need. Right, just logging in, seeing how it is. If you don't like it, just stop playing, right? The problem is like if it's a sunken cost fallacy where like you've already spent so much on the game and you just keep playing. All right, so he just drops down a high elf, and gains souls damage this way. Returns probably some soul triggers back. Yeah, because you know, triggering souls is the way to win the game. Just more damage, unless the opponent just cancels everything. But you know, increasing your odds of of triggering a soul trigger is never really a bad thing. Salvage trigger. That's a little bit rough though. In that case, he side attacked. Sided with the high elf, which is why he is only doing 2 damage. I'm guessing this is a front. No, looks like it's a side. Doesn't want to deal. Too strong for the priestess. Wants to keep the priestess alive. Makes sense. This was going to be for, yeah, cancels. Yeah, so Million Life doing his fair share. Famous last word. Well, it looks like he's canceling just fine. Million Life has been actually canceling very well to keep things close, even though Priestess has gotten 3 straight turns of 2 soul suppress. So grinding out the game very well on the Million Life player's side. I think the Goblin Slayer is very cognizant of the anti-change that was in Million Life player's deck. Oh, there we go. Another class. I had no role in that one. Okay, chat. He refreshed damage that climax all on his own. But yeah. So Million Life player's turn. He does have the Kotori. It can kill from 3-0. Again, that effect is pay 3, ditch 1. Climax combo, burned 1 3 times. But she has to reverse. And I mean, High Elf is right there. That being said, right, remember, Goblin Slayer has Sigma Flare. No, don't be like that. Goblin Slayer does have a 3/3 bounce event, right? So even if you wanted to contest, he would have to play multiple Kotoris to even get off one of them. As none of them Yeah, as there's no cards in his deck that kind of allow for no events to be played or no backups or counters. So it's very dangerous. I wonder if Million Live player is cognizant of the bounce, as he does have the full field. If there's any special Million Live tech right now to like just kill off a card, now would be the time to do it. Preferably a card in the back row, as Kotori has to reverse to do the burn 1-3 times. This isn't Persona. No, but he just needs to get one reverse off of the Kotori, right? And the biggest problem with just having one Kotori is the fact that our Goblin Slayer has a bounce counter ready in hand and enough stock to do so. And I mean, it's such a juicy target to just aim for the 0/0. Yeah, so there you go. Does Million Live? I don't think they even have anything to say like you can't use events during this card's battle or anything like that, or locking the opponent not being able to counter or use a backup. If so, he needs to use it now. There is none in Million Live. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you for that confirmation. Yeah, he has to reverse, so yeah, it gets the another 3/2. He does have enough stock to pay to play it. Again, Kotori needs 3 stock, so I mean, uh, you can build that up with 3 swings. Again, the biggest problem is that bounce counter. I'm not sure if he's able to play around it. I don't I don't I don't foresee a way for him to play around it. Yeah, resting to build stock. What a nice card. Yeah, I think he's thinking pretty hard. Like, how on earth is he gonna play over that bounce counter? Because don't forget, chat. He's still subtracted 2 soul right now. Still subtracted 2 soul. The soul suppress is active. Every card is minus 2 soul as soon as he starts attacking. The switch climax also does not give soul. I mean, all you can do is swing, right? Honestly, like that's it. You'd have to bounce this one because this one requires. Oh, well, I mean, at least he deals damage. He'll deal 1 point of damage, but uh, actually he can't even deal a point of damage if he bounce triggers this. Nope, he takes it. He takes it. Does he want to use it? Yeah, he'd rather take the 3x1. Yeah, he's not afraid of it. Not afraid of it. 1, 2, and deck refresh. Wow. Yeah, just not afraid. Those other 2 cards are dealing 0 damage right now. Currently. So he took 1, finished the effect from the damage into refresh. Yeah. GS player is so BM. I mean, he could be saving it, right? Like, I'm not sure. Oh, there's the trigger. So it does 1 damage. Do you bounce now? You'd have to bounce like now. You can take this 1 damage. She doesn't do anything. 2k backup. Yeah, he's just taking the 1 damage. He's not dead yet. The real question is if the last one will trigger, and that's okay because he can just play 3/3. Plays the bounce. Nope, doesn't trigger, so no soul. Man, I won't say greedy, but like at the same time, because of this play, like he might regret it such that like he can't, like that's a lot of damage, right? So if he does not kill Million Live player on his turn, then he's in a bit of a pickle, right? Unless he gets one of the 3/2 Goblin Slayers that on play, he can search for a event. Check top. That's the box topper Cowgirl, which is a. Oh my god! What a good player! There it is, chat. There is the 3/2 he needed. But I don't think he has enough stock. That's the real question. I don't think he has enough stock to do anything. Because he not only he does need enough stock to use the event, right? And the event is 4. But now that he drew the torch, he's set because the torch any event will put the 0/0 that you see on the field in the back row that isn't the brainstorm into stock. He also needs a sword maiden, a 0/0 sword maiden, which I think he might fish for with the event, and then he's golden. Then he can heal 4, and he'll be back in the game. Yeah, so he plays the event. He needs sword maiden. Has to get sword maiden. Doesn't get sword maiden. But the 0/0 might be able to fetch for it. Nope. Just opts for Goblin Slayer. I wonder if he does already have a sword maiden in hand. Oh, he brainstorms. Hits 2. Gets the search. Will he search for the 0/0 that goes into stock as well as the sword maiden? I think he must, right? Yeah, there we go. So he needs to play another event, another torch. That will be enough for him to heal 4. Also note, chat, that he's gotten a lot of cards out of the deck, right? So prepping for the compression. Yeah, plays it. Does he have another event he can play? That's the real question. Because I feel like the heal event is not no, he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So he's just vanilla swinging here for 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh god. I mean, he's just swinging for 2, right? Million Lab doesn't have any like anti damage or anything, so straight vanilla swing for 4. A little bit of an overswing. Little bit of an overswing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, there you go. So even if he did swing, even did trigger, then he's good. I'm very curious how Goblin Slayer is gonna. Like he's 1 away from death, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Any 1 damage and it's over. I think that's all she wrote, chat. Like I don't see any other way that this is happening. Yeah, I really don't see it happening. He just needs to deal 1 damage. So like the unfortunate bit though for the Million Live player is like all his cards are 2 soul. So he's gonna be overswinging anyways. And Goblin Slayer has how many climaxes out? One in hand. Cue up the Linkin Park song. There might be like 5 or 4 left. The 0-0 can run though. Goblin Slayer no longer able to play the bounce event because he doesn't have 5 cards. I think he's also ditched it too. So yeah, so there seems to be 5 climaxes left in the deck. So like, I think Goblin Slayer is quite sure, that, or at least hopefully sure, that he's just going to cancel. Yeah, just swapping some cards around. They're all 2 soul, so they're all hitting for 3, except for the middle, unless he has some way to send the 0-0 into stock. The safest way maybe is just a side, side for 2. Hopefully not trigger. Call it a day. I mean, ideally too, if you like logically speaking, you just hit with the direct attack slots first, right? To see if the the overswings will hit out a climax, and if not, I mean, you win. But if you do, you're just like, ha, that's one out, and then you swing with the center one last. Million Life player trying to think what is the most optimal way to deal 1 damage. Two damage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Push for the refresh? Yeah. I'm not sure how many cards left in the deck though, Audrey. Because the thing is, I think there are 5 climaxes left, so like the chances of canceling are also still pretty good for Goblin Slayer, especially since most of the cards are vanilla. I think on the Million Life side. All right, Million Life player just flexing the fingers as he decides what he really wants to do. Yeah, he's complaining about the amount of overswing required, not required rather, that he has, because this entire field is level 3s, which means they all have 2 soul. The only other way is, of course, to like use that 0-0 in his hand, but like, will it matter? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. There we go. Million Life player takes it. All the climaxes were further in than the Goblin Slayer would have liked. A little bit unfortunate. I think he has to look back and wonder, like, should he have used the bounce event on the Kotori, pay that 3 stock, because then he wouldn't have gotten the 3 times 1 damage. He could have, but BM. I think he was just trying to. I think he miscalculated in the fact that he was hoping that he would get a Sword Maiden in hand. Because if he did, then he would have healed 4, and he would have been okay, right? Because he had so many climaxes left. The unfortunate bit, of course, is he did not get a Sword Maiden into hand, and as a result, he couldn't use the heal event, which is at the end of the day what killed him, because he wasted too much resources in order to do so. A little bit unfortunate. He went for the greedier play, but that's okay too, right? If you feel like that, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I might have to get back to you on it. But at the same time, like, if you use the bounce counter, He would have 3 stock and not as much damage. I think. I think that's correct. And Audrey, to answer your question, the Afterglow player finally got back to me. He definitely did brick at level 2. He admitted to it just now. Saw my message. He said he had 2 climaxes and 2 level 3s and 1 tap counter in hand. So the only thing he really could have done was the early play and then swing with the other one with his climax. So nothing he really could have done. Yeah, because his level 1 game didn't go as planned. Yeah. All right, so that wraps it up for our Weiss Weekly this week. Shout outs to Sentry Box for letting us play weekly here. Million Live taking it all the way this week. Congrats to the Million Live player. Yeah, so once again, thank you for staying tuned and watching our games. I hope you enjoyed what we had to offer today. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, do feel free to drop us a message or anything of that sort. Otherwise, our next stream will maybe next Wednesday, or the following Friday, so next week. Till then, have a good weekend, guys. Thank you for watching, and take it easy.